I appreciate Mr. Pritam's explanations. I in no way undervalue his motivations, his passion, his desire to do right by Singapore, his wish to have a high-quality opposition built up in Singapore. I understand that. I think it's good for Singapore that you have honest people in the opposition, people who believe in what they're trying to do, people who will stand up and fight for their ideals, and from time to time disagree very strongly with the government. I think that's entirely reasonable. I think it's also good that you have opposition who take their town council responsibility seriously, who look after their constituencies assiduously, conscientiously, and do their best for their MPs, and give the MPs a reason to vote for them. I think it's entirely reasonable to tell, but what I would say, however, is if you stand and you tell people, vote for me, I will be a better MP than the other one, than the PAP MP. I think that's entirely reasonable. But if you say, vote for me, somebody else will vote for the PAP, and therefore the PAP will be the government. That, the economists will call a free rider. It means that you're taking advantage of somebody else who's doing the duty of electing a government for the nation, and you're not doing your part, expressing your true views and preference as a voter, whom you want to be the next government. And if everybody takes that attitude, then you're going to end up with a government which you don't want. Because the argument which he makes is that he's very careful. He only chooses candidates he can trust to be Workers' Party candidates. I think I give him that. It's the right and responsible attitude to take. But I think other opposition parties may say they have been trying to get good candidates too. And they could make the same argument as you have, that it's good to have an opposition in Singapore. Vote for us. Somebody else will look after the government of Singapore. So supposing that the PSP had been as persuasive as Mr. Pritam Singh, and the SDP had been as persuasive as Mr. Pritam Singh, and more voters had taken such an attitude, where would Singapore be? Is that the right outcome for Singapore? So therefore, something is wrong when you say, I really want one government, but I will vote for another one. And the system will go wrong when you do that. And I think it is necessary that people understand this and understand what is at stake when you elect a government of Singapore. Elections are not just about the town council, they're also about electing the government for the country. And that's necessary for people to bear firmly in mind.